Hello everyone, and welcome back to more Final Fantasy VII. We are at part 19. In the last part, we found the Temple of the Ancients, and in this part, we're going to be exploring the Temple of the Ancients. That's the entirety of this part, and you might notice this part is actually quite a bit longer than a usual part, and it's because a lot goes down here, and I figured might as well just get through it all in one part. Even if I do kind of rush through it and miss some items, including a ribbon, and that kind of hurts. And that hurts my soul, but it's okay. There are ways to get more ribbons later, so it's not the end of the world. But just know there is a ribbon in the Temple of the Ancients if you're playing along and you want to get it, because the ribbon is one of the best accessories in the game. It prevents all status ailments, except I believe Fury and Sadness. It doesn't prevent those, but it prevents all others. But anyways, Aerith immediately is feeling a presence here in the Temple of the Ancients. She's hearing things talk to her. And then there's also this dude in a black cape here, talking about the black materia. Well, bye. But yeah. And then here we have Sing of the Turks, who is, he's just like mortally injured. He's gonna die. But he's telling us that Sephiroth is here, and apparently Sephiroth is actually not searching for the Promised Land. He's searching for something else, which you could probably guess for yourself what that is, but we'll find out for sure here in a bit. But, as Aerith says, the Promised Land is not what the Shinra thinks it is. It's not just this ultra, like, fertile land full of Mako. It's something different than that. And they kind of messed up in trying to go after it. And now, you know, Sephiroth is here and is a problem. But Aerith seems very sad about Sing dying, because, as she says, she's known him since she was little, and she says he's one of the few people that actually knew her. So that's pretty heavy stuff. I mean, they were trying to kidnap her, but still, like, it's more complicated than that. You know, she's had a life of kind of a lot of tragedy, so she feels that she probably has this weird connection between her and the Turks. But anyways, now we get into the meat of the Temple of the Ancients, which is this area. So this is a fun time. It's just this big confusing maze that's actually really hard to navigate if you don't know where you're going. Thankfully, I remember for the most part. Like I said, I miss a ribbon, which... and as you'll find out, we actually can't go back to this area after this part of the game. So I didn't realize it till after the fact that I missed it, and then when I was looking over the footage for this part to figure out what I needed to edit out, I was just like, oh, I missed the ribbon. But it's okay. Like I said, there are ways to get ribbons later in the game. You can get some just like throughout the main story. You'll get another one, and then there are other ways to get more ribbons. So it's not the end of the world. And really, I usually only have one party member equipped with a ribbon, then I'll have the other two. Well, flamethrower doesn't work. I have the other two equipped with stat boosting stuff, just to make them as strong as possible. Because, like I said, status ailments aren't really a huge deal in this game. They become a huge deal in the battle square, though, where you only have one party member, so you want to have a ribbon to prevent those from, you know, happening. But yeah. And anyways, we're just trudging along here. Hopefully we can, you know, find Sephiroth in here. One thing I really like about Sephiroth in this game is that you don't see him a lot. If you've noticed, he appears sometimes, but for the most part, he's like much more of just this looming presence than this like ever-present villain. he's very different from Kefka in that sense. Kefka in Final Fantasy VI showed up a lot, and he was constantly there, like he was a full-on character. Sephiroth isn't as much like that. He's much more of just this looming presence. So that's really good for this game's story, because not only does it mean it makes him feel more mysterious and less tangible, like he just feels so unbeatable, but it also means that anytime he does appear, some shit's going down. So it just gives him this sense of authenticity, like he's not fucking around. He's dangerous, and that's something I'm a little worried about the remake, because the remake in the trailers we've seen has shown Sephiroth in Midgar. And if you remember, we don't even see Sephiroth until the first flashback sequence outside of Midgar. And when Sephiroth first shows up in Midgar, the first thing he does is massacre the entire Shinra headquarters to get Jenova, so it immediately establishes him as a threat. And I'm a little worried that if the remake's going to kind of show him a lot throughout Midgar, it's going to kind of take away that sense of like he's an actual threat. You know what I mean? It'll take away that sense. And it'll also kind of be like, well, what the fuck is he doing? Why doesn't he just go get Jenova? Like, you know? Like, why is he just fucking around in Midgar? The original game, it always feels like he has just this set mission. It never feels like he's fucking around, you know, doing something just for the sake of, like, video gamey boss fight or whatever. It feels like he's always on a mission, even if we don't fully understand what that mission is. But yeah. Anyways, I'm just looking through the weapons here. But yeah. So yeah. Oh, battles are fun. There's a lot of enemies you can find here, but I surprisingly don't run into a lot of them. I run into like 2 different types throughout this entire thing, and it's a little like, well, that's weird, but oh well. This right here, this is a luck plus materia. It increases your luck, and you know, it's lucky plus. I think that's a typo that was fixed in other re-releases, but luck, I'm gonna be honest, in Final Fantasy games, I'm not fully Cloud. I'm not fully clear on what luck does. The games never really explain it. Like, some of the stuff is self-explanatory. Like, strength is physical attack. That makes sense. Magic is magic attack. That makes sense. You know, stuff like that. Defense, it makes sense. Agility, like, or dexterity makes sense. That, like, yeah. But what does luck do? You know? Oh, we got a morph materia. That's going to be important for something later. That's going to actually help us get an item that we need to fight one of the optional super bosses. Oh, and I fucked this up way too many times. But yeah, I actually speed through this just to save time, because, you know, this part's already pretty long, so, you know. But anyways, but yeah, the morph materia will actually get a really useful item for us that will help us fight one of the optional super bosses. If you played this game, you know which one I'm talking about. I actually, the first time I beat it without the certain item. It's a materia that you get, but do not recommend. It takes a lot of luck to be able to do it in that time. But yeah. And we just got, Aerith is coming to this fountain where, once again, she's hearing voices, because, you know, I just bumped my desk. The ancients, the knowledge of the ancients is trying to speak to her, but she describes it as more of a conscience. It's the life stream. Like I said, the planet in this game is very much a living entity, just like the inhabitants in it, and I love that about this game. I think that's a super cool idea for a fantasy world. But yeah. So now we are seeing a bit of a flashback to see what happened to the Turks when they got here. Spoiler, it's not good. I mean, we saw saying at the beginning, and he wasn't doing too well, so I think we can assume it's probably not good what happens here, but Yeah. Poor Sing. He's just doing his job, and he dies. Anyways, yeah, this is kind of the showing us, you know, we already know Sephiroth is in here, but this is showing us just what exactly Sephiroth is doing. And there's this mural on this wall here, and they're like, well, what is this? Is this depicting the Promised Land? No. Why? They, you know, this doesn't seem to be depicting that at all. What is this? What's happening? I love Sephiroth's theme so much. It's so great. It's, oh, this game's soundtrack. I've gushed about it so much. This is such a great soundtrack. Nobuo Uematsu, just really outdid himself here, and it's so interesting because this game actually uses the in-game sound, like the in-system sound of the PlayStation, which is weird because most PlayStation games used Redbook like CD quality audio because, you know, they're CD-ROMs, so they could use that quality audio, but this game, I think to save space, instead decided to use the PlayStation's internal sound chip. So this game has such a unique sound to its soundtrack, where it sounds like kind of the transitional phase between the Super Nintendo games and Final Fantasy VIII and IX, which use the full-on Redbook audio, and those games have amazing soundtracks too, but 7's just sticks out so much. Like, no other game I've played has a soundtrack that sounds like this. And it's great. Composition-wise, 7 is up there as the best in the series. I think I like 6's compositions just slightly more, but 7 is a bigger soundtrack for one thing, and also it's higher quality sound because 6 was on the Super Nintendo, but 6 sounds incredible for the Super Nintendo. But anyways, the Ancients were showing us, the live stream was showing us that little vision there, and then we are going to keep going to find that room, because clearly something's in there. If Sephiroth was so insistent on stopping the Turks from, you know, messing with anything in there. So that's pretty intriguing, I would say. But yeah, so we are just gonna continue making our way along. This clock room. So if you want the ribbon, go to the 5th door. The door labeled 5, or Roman numeral V if you don't know Roman numerals for whatever reason. I don't do that. I have a brain fart and forget and just go straight to the one you need to go into to progress is 6. But I was planning on checking them all, and then I was like, oh, I'm getting bored, and I just am like, I don't want to, you know, I just kind of want to keep going because I don't want this file size to be like 20 billion gigabytes. But yeah, so I get like the first 3, check the first 3 rooms, and then after that I'm just like, okay, let's just get a move on. But if you want the ribbon is in the 5th door, so just remember that. Don't be an idiot like me and forget it because you want the ribbon. But yeah, that door is locked. We'll come back there later. But yeah, this clock room, it's a little confusing, but it's nothing like too bad. You can just move the time to wherever you want, then you go through the doors, and then there'll be different items and stuff, depending on, like, you know, where you go in. Sometimes there'll be nothing, just you want the ribbon. That's the main thing you want from here. So yeah, and that's the one thing I don't get, or like the thing that I forget. I try to steal from this enemy because I thought it had something, but I'm actually thinking of an enemy that we will be fighting in Disc 2 that has a circlet, which is an accessory that gives you plus 30 magic. So yeah, you kind of want that, right? That's really good. Cloud is a frog. Yeah, so that's why that happened. And then here we actually get Yuffie's level 3 limit break before we get her second level 2 one, and then I switch it to level 3, then I realize, wait, if I want her level 4, I need all the 6 previous limit breaks. So then I walk out of the room, and then I think I immediately switch it back, and I'm like, wait, I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah. I'm very good at this game. I know exactly how it works all the time and never have any brain farts or forget anything. There's a lot. Yeah. What am I doing? Oh, I see, I'm going to 2. Like I said, eventually, the main one you want to check is 5, but... I was like, wait, what the fuck am I doing? Oh, well, yeah. And then I just stop it, and it stops right at 6, so I'm just like, fuck it, we'll just keep going. Just to get a move on. You know, it's like Fate was telling me to, but Fate wanted me to forget the ribbon. I'm never gonna let this go. And now we have this little mini game here where we have to follow this guy. You have to follow this guy all through these doors, and one door, or one passage will lead out to another passage, and we basically just have to figure out what passage will, he'll go through a door and we have to figure out what door we need to go through to catch him when he comes out of the next door, if that makes any sense. But yeah. So you just kind of have to learn patterns, and eventually you'll get it. Or you can just do what I did my first playthrough and just keep following him like a fucking idiot, and then go on for like 10 minutes and then realize, oh wait, maybe I'm doing something wrong. And then I run this way, and I guess my eyes didn't see the very obvious treasure chest there, but oh well. But yeah, we're just, this minigame isn't too hard. It's just a fun little puzzle thing. But yeah. It shouldn't take me too much longer to finish this up. I got it down. We're good, I think. But, there we go. There it is. But yeah, nothing too bad. Just a fun little puzzle to spice things up a bit. It's a fun time. The door gets unlocked, and then it's the big room. The room that we saw in the flashback. Here we go. There's something in here that clearly Sephiroth doesn't want anyone else to get to. I wonder what it could be. Like I said, it's probably pretty obvious, but in case you don't know, it is here to explain it to you. I'm always by your side. Come. Splendid. I love Sephiroth. He's so good. A treasure house of knowledge. Yeah, I don't understand either, Cloud. He's just kind of saying words. Oh, now he's contorting weird. See, Sephiroth is like... A lot of people do comparisons between Kefka and Sephiroth, and I think they're both excellent villains, but they aren't really fair comparisons, and I'll explain why later. Because they're just so different. But Sephiroth's saying here he's becoming one with the planet. Now, what could that mean? What is he trying to do? It's almost time. Oh boy. We will become one. What? So yeah, what does he mean by one with the planet? What could that mean? What does this have to do with the black materia? Interesting. Yeah, that's a good question, Aerith. Oh, it's simple. It's not simple. So, yeah, get this. Sephiroth wants to use the ultimate destruction materia to inflict a massive injury on the planet, like enough that would just basically kill the planet, because when the planet gets hurt, the life stream comes to heal the wound. The life stream is like the blood of the planet. It comes to help heal the wound, and Sephiroth's plan is to inflict a massive wound on the planet, be in the middle of that wound when it happens, so then he can absorb all the life stream for himself and become a god. Use that power to basically, yeah, just become a god and rule over the entire universe or something. I don't really know what his goal is after that. But he's going to use that by using the ultimate destructive magic, Meteor, or the Black Materia. Meteor is a spell in a lot of Final Fantasy games, but here it is the ultimate spell. Not Ultima, Meteor is. Meteor, as you'll see, well, as we can see, threatens the very life of the planet if it's used. And if you pay attention to the logo of this game is the meteor. And this mural here is showing the meteor. It's just basically almost a prophecy or something. And now Cloud is having a weird reaction, isn't he? I don't like that. Is Cloud okay? He's not okay. But yeah, so the logo of this game is the meteor. Every Final Fantasy game, the logo represents something from the game. It's not just, you know, cool art. And that's pretty neat. Like Final Fantasy VI has the Magitech engine in its logo. Final Fantasy IX has the crystal. Stuff like that. 10 has the ritual of that Yuna does to send the dead to the next life. But anyways, so Cloud had a weird reaction there and seems to have no memory of what he just did. Just kind of almost seeming to be in agreement of what Sephiroth is doing. But he has no memory of it, and then Aerith is like, we'll just pretend that didn't happen. Which may or may not backfire on them. Oh, it'll make a mess, Yuffie. But yeah, so that's Sephiroth's plan. He wants to use the Black Materia to basically destroy the world, so he himself can become a god, and he wants to do that. The catch is, oh, we got a boss fight here, but the catch is, Meteor takes a ton of energy to use, to like cast, so that's why Sephiroth is looking for. Also, he is looking for the Promised Land. He just wasn't looking for just the Promised Land. He wants the Promised Land so he can be there with all its energy, and then use that energy to help him cast Meteor. That's his goal. This boss fight's pretty easy, so, you know, nothing to worry about here. I'm starting to cast Big Guard a lot if you haven't noticed, and Big Guard is so useful, not only for the protection it gives you, but also for the fact that it casts haste on the entire party, and oh man, that is so good. For this point in the game, haste on the whole party is so useful. Big Guard is probably, like, overall throughout the entire course of the game, Big Guard is probably the most useful enemy skill there is. Just because Big Guard is even a move that I use during the final boss. Like, it's so useful. You get it so early. Yeah, we're just basically annihilating this thing. And like I said, because of the Materia system, Aerith is actually a much lower level than everyone else at this point, but because of the Materia system, she's holding her own fine. It's no issue. And we got some nice level ups on everyone, except Aerith, but, you know, she's not a member of our permanent party, so it's no big deal. And here we are going to get, well, we need to find Sephiroth now, but here we are going to get Bahamut, which is a summon, a non-elemental summon, so I actually replaced that Ifrit with that for Yuffie, because Bahamut is just, you know, it'll do a ton of damage to everyone. You don't have to worry about elements at all. But now we need to find Sephiroth and find out. The Black Materia is in the temple. We need to find out where it is. Because it's not here. I mean, that's not the Black Materia, so where is it? Where could it be? there's something written on it. Black materia, yeah. Yeah, Cloud, she just spelled it out. Yeah, black materia. So this is, of course, that looks nothing like materia. That's clearly not it. But something it's involved with the black materia somehow. So where is it? Where's the black materia? Where could it be? So yeah, Aerith is talking to the ancients here, and she is finding out something interesting. So get this. The temple itself is the black materia. The whole temple. And the way we get the black materia is you have to solve a certain set of puzzles inside the temple, and the temple will get smaller every time you do it. But the issue being, you can only solve the puzzles from within the temple, so the only way you could get the black materia to be holdable so you can use it would end up killing yourself, because you would get crushed by the temple. So, you know, that's not an easy solution, unless somebody's willing to sacrifice themselves. And Sephiroth's probably the same way, but they said we need to get the black materia because Sephiroth could easily find a way. He has a bunch of lackeys that would just do whatever to, you know, those men in the black capes. One of them would just sacrifice themselves, no problem, to get the black materia for Sephiroth. So we can't have that. So what are we gonna do? And now we're getting a phone call. And it's Cait Sith. And if you remember, Cait Sith is just a robot body. Cait Sith is being controlled by somebody up in Shinra headquarters. So he volunteers to sacrifice his body, because, you know, nobody would really die, to get the black materia. So how noble of him. But also Cloud is hesitant because, you know, it's like he doesn't want the black materia to be given to the Shinra. But still, it's really their only option. And I take one step into a battle. Just great. More dragon enemies, cool. But yeah, so I just lost my train of thought. Quality commentary, everyone. No, but so now we gotta, you know, get out of the temple now, so Cait Sith can come in, or Ketshi. I know it's Ketshi, but I'm calling him Cait Sith. I've already established that. Again, solve the puzzles, get the black materia, and then we can skedaddle the fuck out of here. But now, you know, this is an important part, you know, because now we know Sephiroth's ultimate plan. We know what he's trying to do. I mean, this Cloud was right at the beginning. The entire world's at stake here. This is not, like, anything to be taken lightly. Sephiroth is trouble. He is a huge threat. And I love that about Sephiroth. But yeah, I can get into a bit why Sephiroth and Kefka are so different. They are both insane. They both have these kind of tragic backstories that have made them go insane. But Sephiroth, like Kefka, you see a lot more and is a lot more unpredictable. Kefka, the entire point, like Kefka doesn't really have an actual goal with what he does. He just truly hates humans and hates the joy and the hope that they have and wants to destroy that all. That's Kefka. Sephiroth has a definite goal in mind that he wants to accomplish, that he will gain something from accomplishing that goal. Kefka doesn't really have anything to gain. Kefka is just a disgusting, horrible person and just wants to destroy everything. If you can tell from the tone of my voice, I kind of find Kefka to be the more interesting villain. But I do love Sephiroth too, and I overall enjoy playing Final Fantasy VII as a game more than 6. So just because I like the villain better does not mean I like the overall game better. I think 7 has much better characters than 6. Especially Cloud, Tifa, and Barret, I think are all incredibly well fleshed out characters. Same with Aerith, actually. and I think 7 has the better battle system. I think the materia system is much better than the Esper system in 6, even once again the Esper system in 6 is really good, and the characters in 6 are really good. I don't want to discredit that at all. But now we got a boss fight here. I think this is somewhat of a reference to Final Fantasy IV, because in that game you kind of fight an evil wall too. But this one isn't too bad. He's pretty resistant to magic, so I would recommend mainly just using physical attacks. I tried laser. Laser doesn't work on most boss fights. No gravity spells really do. But yeah, mainly physical attacks will do the trick. Of course, I'm having Aerith try out spells because her physical attack is pretty pitiful. One of the worst in the game. Ouch. But yeah. But this boss fight can give you some trouble, but it's really not that bad. Okay, that little thing that happened there, that's a common nitpick I have with this game. And another reason the speed up feature is very nice. Sometimes in this game, this doesn't happen in the other PS1 Final Fantasies. I don't know if it's loading in an animation or something, but sometimes an enemy will just kind of pause. Like, before it does something, like, it's about to attack, but before it does the animation, it just kind of pauses for a second. It's a very minor thing, but a lot of enemies do it, and it's a little irritating. And I'm like, okay, let's just get a move on here. The other Final Fantasies on the PS1 don't do that. I think it's just loading it in, the animation or something. It's strange. But overall, the battle system in this game is much faster than Final Fantasy 9's specifically. 9's is very slow for other reasons other than like loading animations. Battles take a long time to load in 9, and they take a long time to load out in 9, and also the ATB moves way too slow in 9. But anyways, Cait Sith is here now, and he's going to, we're going to say our goodbyes to him as he sacrifices himself, or this robot body, to get the black materia so we can get it out of here safely without anyone actually dying. So how noble of him. But first, Aerith, before he goes away, Aerith is going to have him read us a fortune, like he did at the beginning. How compatible you and Cloud are. Oof. That's a tough question, isn't it? Oh no. Poor Tifa. It's pretty clear Tifa likes Cloud too, isn't it? So, yeah, we're perfect for each other. Me, I'm Cloud. So, no, Cloud and Aerith are perfect for each other, as he says. How sweet. So, goodbye, Cait Sith. Hopefully Aerith and I will have a bright future together, and hopefully Tifa won't be too upset about that. But yeah, I feel so happy. This is the first time Cait Sith, like I said, he's a person up at Shinra, and we don't know who he is yet, but we will find out. He tripped. But this is like something he's trying to help for a change. He feels like he's actually doing something legitimately for the greater good, which is probably the first time he's ever felt like he's doing something like that. So this is kind of a nice moment. And a moment that I like a lot. But yeah. So he solves the puzzles, and that's going to cause the temple to shrink down into the black materia. The ultimate destruction materia, which will summon Meteor if it's used. Pretty scary stuff. Even if another Cait Sith comes along. And here it goes. Goodbye, Temple of the Ancients, and goodbye the ribbon that I left inside. God damn it. Oh well. We will get more ribbons. It is not the end of the world, as much as I'm treating it like it is. But there it goes. Goodbye, Kate Sith. You did good, buddy. There it is down there. You can't probably see it because this game runs at like 2p resolution. Oh, PlayStation games. But it's down there. Like I said, the resolution, it's just how PlayStation games looked. You know, they look jaggy and kind of gross because, you know, that's just what the PlayStation looked like. You can't really blame it on this game specifically for it. Of course, like I said, Final Fantasy 8 and 9 look much better, but they still have the jaggies. Because aliasing, or anti-aliasing on the PS1 was pretty much non-existent. But yeah, what they're talking about here is how you can't use the black materia until you get enough power to do so, and the only way you can really get that power on this planet is through the Promised Land. And Aerith says, oh wait, but Sephiroth can't find the Promised Land. He's not an ancient. He's unable to. And then Sephiroth's like, oh, I've already found it. So shit. He apparently got into the life stream somehow and found all the knowledge and wisdom of the ancients and was able to find the life stream through that. So that's pretty scary. As he says here, he is far superior to the ancients now. And he sees himself as the rightful owner of this planet and as the universe, pretty much. Oh, that's a nice sound. So Sephiroth is now fucking with Cloud's head. But how is he able to do this? Why is he able to do this? What's going on with Cloud? Why is this suddenly happening? Like, why is Cloud being manipulated by Sephiroth like this? It happened earlier, and now it's happening again. Oh shit. That's not good. Now Sephiroth has the black materia. Well, Cloud fucked up, but it wasn't really his fault. What happened? Why did that happen? And Aerith being the kind person that she is, isn't too mad at Cloud because she knows it was out of his control. She's just like, Cloud, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Be strong. Like, and I actually like this moment a lot. Because anyone else would be like, what the fuck are you doing, Cloud? You're insane. And then she's just like, it's not your fault. You couldn't help what you did. Even though they don't fully understand what's happening. And Cloud just completely loses it here and starts beating the shit out of Aerith for some reason. We don't know why yet. But then Kate Sith 2 comes. Kate Sith number 2 comes along and is just like, hey, I'm here now. So we didn't actually lose Kate Sith. He's just whatever. But what the fuck is happening? I love that moment though, because just Kate Sith comes at the worst possible time, and Yuffie has to come down and knock out Cloud to get him to stop. And clearly Cloud's brain is a little fucked up. We don't know why, but like something's going on. He has holes in his memory, and he is now being manipulated pretty much. And now we have this little vision that Cloud's having with Aerith. And then Cloud was like apologizing for trying to beat up Aerith, and she's like, it's okay, but also you should really worry about yourself right now. She got knowledge from the Temple of the Ancients on how to beat Sephiroth. She knows how now. And she can do it herself. So she's leaving the party. She's going off somewhere. She doesn't really specify where, but she's just telling Cloud to worry about himself, get himself figured out, and she will worry about Sephiroth. What exactly her plan is, we don't know, but she seems confident. She's going to a place called the City of the Ancients to do something to try to stop Sephiroth. And she's just like, I got this. I'm good. So she's going to be leaving the party for a little while. But yeah. Uh, now we gotta, of course, we will be finding her, but we will actually be doing that in the next part, because this part's almost over, as you can tell from the time. But then Sephiroth comes in and is like, she's thinking of interfering. We might have to stop her. We. Why does he say we? Like, Cloud's fighting against Sephiroth, but now he's almost treating Cloud like an ally. Weird stuff. But anyways, maybe we'll get some more answers in the next part. Thank you guys for watching. In the next part, we will be finishing up Disc 1. And I will see you guys next time for more Final Fantasy VII.